A lot of new potential names to join Edge are being thrown around. So we'll take a look at some of the latest fan theories there. We'll also see John Cena's response, Bayley's tease, and much more. Let's start things off with John Cena's response. So a big topic coming out of this weekend's live events was Austin Theory taking a little jab at John Cena on his birthday, saying how he's already better than Cena ever was. Surprisingly enough, John Cena directly responded to Theory on Twitter and had this to say, quote, "Everyone understands that you have far more talent, strength, and gifts than I ever had. Don't apologize for that, ever. An apology should come 20 years from now if you fail to provide the effort needed to turn your potential into your legacy. I hope that day never comes." End quote. So of course, Theory was a big John Cena fan growing up. That was his idol, so anything negative he says about John Cena is just him talking in character. But all this back and forth does continue to push the narrative about what an Austin Theory versus John Cena feud could look like. Cena spoke a lot of truth there with his message, saying that Theory is way more talented and gifted, but it's going to come down to how Theory uses those gifts to build a legacy decades from now. Will Theory be forgotten about when he leaves WWE? Or will he cement his legacy as one of the all-time greats? So, Cena put out a great response there by basically saying, "You're more gifted than me, but will they remember you?" Another related report claims that Vince McMahon loves Austin Theory. And that's no real secret. Everyone assumed that that was the case when Vince McMahon started to pair himself up with Theory on WWE television. If Vince signs up to do something with you on television, especially these days where he doesn't have a big role as a character, it shows you that he must be a real fan of you. So that's the case here. Vince McMahon reportedly loves Theory and will continue to help him reach that superstardom level in WWE. Not only that, but reports claim that Vince McMahon even sees a lot of John Cena in Austin Theory. So that's quite interesting as well. There's so much Austin Theory and John Cena talk going on right now that you never know if it could lead to an actual story on WWE television. Bayley continues to be one of the biggest WWE free agents and one of the big returns that everyone is waiting on. Bayley has been known to troll fans about her return lately and mock them after she doesn't return at her event that everyone thought she would show up at. But eventually, Bayley's jokes and trolling will be over and she'll actually make a return. As far as how Bayley's knee is doing, it's going on 10 months since that ACL injury. Average recovery time for this injury is 9 months. So she's officially over the recommended recovery time, and her knee should definitely continue to get stronger and stronger by the week at this point. As everyone knows, the tricky part about coming back from injuries in WWE is the creative side of things. WWE has to come up with a way to insert you back into storylines, and the wait for that is often unpredictable. Such as Becky Lynch, for example. She was ready at WrestleMania 37, but creative wasn't ready for her at that time, so she had to sit around until SummerSlam 2021. And even that SummerSlam return for Becky Lynch was a last-second notice because it wasn't until 2 weeks before the show that WWE learned Sasha was going to be unavailable. So in the end, it worked out for Becky because it put her back into active storylines and made her champion during her return night. But in other instances, like Alexa Bliss, the wait could feel endless and could feel like a total limbo state. So recovering from the injury is only half of the problem for WWE superstars. Finding a way back onto television is the other half of the problem. But no one expects it to be that much of an issue for someone of Bayley's level. She's definitely a top-tier superstar, and her return will generate buzz wherever she ends up at. She just has to wait until they come up with something for her to do. There's been no rumors or reports about a timetable for Bayley's return, so it's completely unknown. Bayley did tweet out a message talking about how she loves the tag team titles. Shayna Baszler even replied to Bayley by telling her to stay out. The current tag team champions at the time of Bayley's tweet is obviously Sasha Banks and Naomi. Bayley was part of the first ever set of the women's tag team champions, along with Sasha Banks. So does Bayley make her return in the women's tag team division to focus on Sasha Banks and the tag team titles? Maybe Bayley is hurt by seeing Sasha having a fun, successful tag team title reign with someone rather than herself, and that makes her focus on Sasha and the titles? But something like that would be quite the interesting route for Bayley's return. It'll also add even more story and star power to the women's tag team division. So now that Asuka made her long-awaited return, Bayley is the one big last remaining free agent out there. Now, we just have to wait and see what Bayley's return will be after all. One of the biggest stories coming out of Raw continues to be everything Edge and Damian Priest related. Edge shared some words about how one of the very first interactions he had with anyone when he returned during the 2020 Royal Rumble was with AJ Styles. AJ Styles and Edge locked eyes for a moment during the match, and it was a big teaser for the two of them eventually meeting down the line, and 2 years later, it actually happened. A lot went down with AJ and Edge during the Royal Rumble, even including a moment of Edge legitimately saving AJ Styles from injury. When AJ's shoulder was banged up after a spear, he communicated with Edge during the match to eliminate from the Rumble earlier than expected, just to protect that shoulder from any more harm, and Edge helped him out with that. But 2 years later, it was a heated feud between Edge and AJ Styles. Edge warned AJ Styles to stay home and mocked him for the beatdown that he received during the prior edition of Raw. Damian Priest, on the other hand, sent a warning to Finn Balor. Damian Priest and Finn Balor had a nice, quiet little feud picking up before WrestleMania. Some fans thought that they'll even meet at WrestleMania, but that never happened. However, this match on Raw sort of felt like it gave us closure for the Damian Priest and Finn Balor feud. Damian Priest used some of Edge's moves in the match and took care of Finn Balor, all while Edge watched at the top of the stage on his chair. So it was a great week for Edge and Damian Priest as they continue to build momentum heading into WrestleMania Backlash. One of the other fun topics to discuss for when it comes to Edge and Damian Priest is the topic of new potential members. Fans are throwing around a new interesting and unexpected name to the list, and that's Corey Graves. Corey Graves is currently a commentator for Raw, but some fans are talking about how bizarre it would be if Edge's words catch Corey Graves' ears and convince him to take a closer look at what Edge is up to. Corey's vibe and persona also makes it seem like he'll be able to pull off that dark persona and character, but there's a lot of possibilities and names going around right now for Edge's group, so hopefully some great fitting members continue to join him. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.